family. Thank you for tuning in to the Musicale Finale.
Hey, Musicale Finale.
Musicale Finale. I'm going to be hosting tonight. I'm Zackary Drucker. I'm a producer on the show. I've been a producer on the show since the beginning, and I'm here with the legendary ingenue superstar with all of the angel light of the world, Trace Lysette.
Hi, guys.
And to my right, Shakina Nafag.
Hi.
Goddess spectacular.
You know, I'll take it. Thanks.
Stars of the Transparent Musicale Finale.
Musicale Finale.
We're
so giggly today.
Yes. So, we're going to be chatting about all things transparent until 7 p.m. Until at which time we are going to watch the movie together.
Oh, cool.
All of us. You're going to go. Well, I mean, you know, you're going to watch us here.
You're going to watch it, and we're going to be like, answering your questions. You'll ask the questions.
That too. Yeah. We're going to get there. But at 7, we're going to go to Amazon Prime Video, and we're going to watch it. So please post your comments down below, and we're going to try to address them throughout the live stream.
Yeah.
First, I mean, I was wondering, Trace Lysette, you were Shay on season 1. You were around in the very beginning, 2014. We were shooting. The trans tipping point was about to happen or was happening as we were making it.
Yes.
So much has changed in 5 years. Like, how do you feel then to today?
It's been a journey. I think Transparent, hopefully the legacy of Transparent will be something magical that people look back on and see how it opened the door for so many other projects that we've been able to see come to fruition since Transparent started, and just pushing the trans conversation forward. And it's been a journey, and 2018 was a lot of things, but we're here now, and it's a celebratory moment. So
yeah,
I'm happy that we're all here and we got to have this last chapter, or maybe it's not the last chapter. Who knows?
Dun dun dun. Dot dot dot. Yeah, I have a feeling that Transparent might have a longer life.
There's some sort of ellipses in the air, right? It feels like a sentence that's not yet been completed.
Yeah. And Shakina, tell us, so you're, a fan of the show, who you were watching it throughout.
Yeah.
And then when the finale came along, you were a crucial part of creating the role of Ava.
Yeah. In 2014, I guess I was right now, this week in 2014, I was applying to be a writer on season 2, I think. So I had been around the show, sort of like banging on the glass door, like, let me in. And actually, I applied twice to be a writer on the show and never thought I would be an actor on the show. At that time, I wasn't even acting. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then it just sort of worked. The timing all worked in such a way that, they needed something I had, which was like the connection to the material, obviously as a lived experience, but also the foundation in musical theater, which is what I brought, along with Faith's music. So I could help tell the story as an actor and as a creator.
And with your fabulous voice. Of course, you have like one of the show-stopping numbers in the film.
Yeah, you'll have to see it. There's a good song toward the end that we had to fight like tooth and nail to keep in the movie, actually.
Yeah.
Because people weren't sure if it would work, if it was like going to be too boring. And I was like, no, it's a beautiful ballad. Keep this on.
That was a saga. That's your shoes.
Yeah.
Right? So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah. Special moment.
One of my favorite memories from shooting was the day that we did Joy Accost in Griffith Park, which was like this
So much fun.
wild cornucopia of just color and beauty. Trace, what memories do you have from that day and from a typical day on the set?
I remember from Joy Accost, I remember running around in the mulch in Griffith Park, trying to remember all this choreography, holding on to Jay Duplass and Jason Mantzoukas, and like literally falling, falling in the mulch, running around like children. Rain from The Office was there. Laura Harden had come back. Tig Notaro. It was just like
Cherry Jones
Cherry Jones.
dancing the hora in the woods.
Yeah. And then Judith doing her thing, and Alexandra Billings, and it was just this reunion, and it was so childlike, and it was interesting to me that we got to have that innocent childlike moment, especially after everything that had gone on the year prior, and just how healing that was to be dancing in the woods, almost tribal, and as a family unit. It was just beautiful.
Yeah. Diana Breland always talked about a party for the eye, which is like one of my favorite. When you're looking at something that just is like pure visual pleasure.
It is absolutely that scene. You'll get there.
And yeah, that's how I felt that day. And you have like a good dance solo, Trace. You were like in the center of a circle.
Some cathartic hair whipping.
Yeah. It was such a wonderful day. And then, of course, there was, days where we were at a funeral.
Yeah,
and-
literally in the rain in LA at a funeral.
Oh my God, that first day.
That first day was loaded.
Loaded, very heavy.
Loaded. Lots of tears.
Lots of tears.
We
were
lots
at
of
the-
good work.
We were shooting at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. I think in the film it's called...
That's where Holly is. Right?
Mount
It
Israel. I think it's
was.
called Mount Israel. Yeah.
It was, can I tell just a personal
So special.
anecdote?
It's so
Tell it.
special.
Was that it was very intense. Holly Woodlawn, who's in season 1, she's a Warhol superstar. She was in Paul Morrissey films Trash and Women in Revolt, and is the namesake of Lou Reed's song Walk on the Wild Side. So she's a trans legend. Was active in as early as the 60s, 70s, 80s, and is just kind of one of our fairy godmothers. So she
Absolutely.
appears in season 1 as one of the residents of the Shangri-La, which is where Maura and Davina live. And she was cremated at
Yes.
the Hollywood Forever Cemetery.
Yeah.
And
Enshrined.
We went to her memorial
we went to her
service
memorial
together.
service. Yeah.
It was beautiful.
And we were very close to her, but in the musicale finale, Maura is in the
Right.
is cremated in the same
Laid
space
to
where,
rest in the
where
same
Holly
place.
was.
Yeah.
So just like
Very
anyways.
symbolic.
Yeah, absolutely.
This whole process was filled with sort of those things that were too like magical to be coincidences. That there were like these little signs that we received the blessing to go ahead with what was really a crazy idea.
Yeah.
And along the way, we'd get these little, signs like that where it was like, no, really, this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
This is the way to do it.
And it was raining like cats and dogs.
It was raining.
Those
And like,
first
when does
days.
that happen here?
It's rare. But it's it actually just like makes all of
Those shots,
scenes.
so gorgeous.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
like a little serendipity from the movie gods shining
Yes.
down on us, and Hollywood Lawn nearby in the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. Why should people be excited about the finale? What do you think?
I mean, first of all, I think that there's like a legacy of just out there acid trip movie musicals that if you're a fan of that genre, like the movie of Jesus Christ Superstar or Godspell, like these old school movie musicals, The Wiz, they were like so out there. And I feel like this really lives up to that like cult legendary status in terms of the creative choices that Jill and Faith made in the making of the movie. But more than like the artistic relevance, I think the thing that I'm so excited about is that we came together in a moment where this show was on the brink and it could have gone any direction. And we are not the only show in existence to have faced this conundrum, but we came together and decided that we were gonna make a musical and like find joy beyond the pain and come together to heal and celebrate. And that's like, I think sets an example for how we should all try to approach when the bottom falls out in our lives, we have to come together and support each other and create something joyous. And I
Yeah.
think we tried the best of our ability to do that collectively. And that's awesome. And that it is clear when you watch this.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, the show is definitely made with a lot of love, and I think that this particular chapter of the story was very cathartic. I mean, we had been down for over a year, I think, and coming together as a group. That day that you were describing, Trace, which uh, included so many past cast members, like so many people kind of were resurrected for that scene coming in, and it felt like a family reunion of sorts. But one thing that I think, is sort of legendary about the show is the process, right? And getting to set every day and having an opportunity to share with the people that you're working with, right? So it's called box. Everybody kind of stands in a circle, and
Box.
there's an apple box in the middle. And I don't know. Do you have any thoughts about that, Trace? Like how it?
Well, I remember Box on the first day back, and Alexandra Billings just shouldered up to me and said, "Well, I have an announcement, everyone." And she said, "Trace Lysette is back on the set today." And I remember feeling a lot of anxiety prior to that moment because I was just all the trauma and what did this mean for me to return back to this place. And when she announced that I was there, everyone clapped and cheered and
Wildly. We cheered
showered me with
wildly.
love, and it made me feel like the healing could then start and we could get back to the work, which is what I always wanted.
Mhm.
It's all I wanted. And so that was a special moment about the box for me.
Yeah. Shakina, what thoughts do you have? What did you do? I'm gonna return to the script for a
Yes,
moment, but
yeah,
like,
oh.
how did you prepare for these musical numbers? Can you tell our friends out there about?
Yeah, we had a pretty lengthy pre-production process. We had a workshop at Musical Theater Factory in New York City with some of the original cast members, where we just started like playing improvisationally with the music to figure out like what the story was really going to be. And then when the story started to become clear, a few months later, Ryan Hevington, who's the choreographer, got together with some of the dancers from his company who are in the film. You see them playing the Messiahs. And we had like an exploratory process for a few weeks where we were in a room just jamming, trying to come up with this choreography. Like, how do you make a queer hora for the 21st century? What are the like movement languages of the actors and how like the series regulars and how are they going to feel comfortable dancing? So I got to be in the room for a lot of that, which was really cool because it was just like generative. And then we brought the cast back in and started teaching choreography in layers and layers, and it got bigger and bigger. And then we started doing the choreography with camera blocking so we could understand how you were going to see the choreography. And by the time we got to the days where we were shooting, I think we did this in 3 weeks, right? In like a remarkably
Four.
short
Yeah,
4 weeks.
it was
But
4.
it's still unreal. A 100-minute film, movie musical in 4 weeks. But we were really so rehearsed by the time we got to the production numbers that it was like we just like got on set and ran them and did them. I mean, Catherine Hahn doing Sit in It, she must have done like 20 takes. And when you see this number, it's so outrageous. She's so good.
Yeah.
And then Judith did Boundary. Your Boundary is My Trigger, which is a killer song. She must have done that 10, 11 times back to back to back. It was killer. I didn't have any like, up-tempo stuff. My these are always like really pretty and soft. I guess like Joya Cost, but by that point everyone was losing their minds. So it wasn't a big deal. I was more concerned with like making sure Judith felt safe dancing on the stairs. I was like, okay, the choreography is one thing, but I just can't knock this like icon of American television off and Broadway off the stairs while we're dancing together. So I'm just gonna be making sure she doesn't trip and I don't knock her, and everything else will work out.
Yes. I feel like we all have that protective feeling of Judith Light, Earth Angel.
Absolutely.
Just like keeping,
Yeah.
I don't know,
Mhm.
her, maintaining her like wonder and beauty.
Yes.
I always say that she's an Earth Angel and
Yeah.
she's maybe not even an actual human. What do you hope, Trace, people will take away from the finale?
What's that song? Last Dance is it by Donna Summer?
Definitely.
It's like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Last Dance with Transparent.
Go listen to that song, and that's how I feel about it.
How about the whole series? How about the series overall? Yeah. I'm trying to remember the lyrics to that song. Last
The whole
Dance.
series. I mean, I think it will live on for future generations to discover, and I guess on the timeline of trans representation in TV and film, it's definitely solidified its spot. And I know it's forever changed my life and my career for the good. And so I'm just grateful.
Yeah.
Grateful for the roller coaster.
How about you, Shakina? What do you think? I mean, I think a lot about the legacy. Of
Yeah.
like, how does it look when you're looking back?
I don't want to like throw in any spoilers because I know you're all about to tune in and watch it for the first time. But I think it's reclamatory. And I think there's power in this finale that allows us to claim it in a way that maybe we couldn't fully grasp until this moment. So I hope that like people will see it as like a very fitting resolution to the rupture that happened a couple years ago, and I do agree that that the show itself is iconic and will always be remembered for the revolution that it created in terms of trans representation on television, for the revolution it created in terms of streaming, because Amazon wasn't making television before Transparent,
Right.
and now they're winning Emmys all over the place. Yeah, y'all started
Congratulations,
that. So
Amazon.
yeah, congratulations, Amazon.
You were your first. Don't forget it.
Yeah.
No.
But also, as I said before, I think there's something really special with the way we chose to go out that I think a lot of people would have been too scared to do, but not the Soloways and not us.
So, I think that it's really significant to sort of lift up the fact that there are 3 trans folks representing the show right now in this moment, and that's such a crucial time in trans visibility in America and around the world. I think that the conversation is happening in a way that it wasn't 5 years ago. We were still sort of underground and clandestine. So I was hoping that we could just take a moment to kind of zoom out and talk about the state of trans America and what are the things that are on your mind right now?
Well, I'm always just trying to balance the amount of, I guess, issues that we juggle in terms of civil rights and just all the things we are dodging, and also trying to combat every single day of our lives, and then at the same time celebrate the positive. I'm always like doing this dance of like how much to take in and how much to fight back and how much to just stay the course and just focus on me. But I know there's a case coming up that's really important.
October 8th.
October
Amy
8th.
Stevens. It's a
Yes.
ACLU is handling the case of Amy Stevens, who was fired when she came out as trans from a funeral home. And as we know, there's no federal protection for trans people. And it's still ambiguous if we are covered under Title VII.
Right. So I guess in terms of reflection, I think about things like that. I think about good things as well, like the representation we see on Pose and
including you, including Trace Lysette being represented.
Yeah, and me getting to be in Hustlers, which is a box office hit, and I don't even have to play a specifically trans character because she's not, and things like that that are pushing the envelope forward in ways that I didn't know if I would see in my lifetime, which is really amazing.
I think it's also like we sit here representing the show, which is amazing, but the reality is that like Black trans women are being murdered at an alarming rate in this country and have been, and that is still, regardless of what happens on October 8th, that is still a reality in like everyday America, that our sisters of color and our siblings of color are made to feel unsafe in their communities simply because of their transness. There's still a lot of legislation pending to like regulate our permission to exist. There's also, migrant detention facilities that are specifically dedicated to undocumented transgender immigrants. And those are private for-profit corporations that are exploiting people who are in so many layers of need. So, and then of course, internationally, the health and safety of trans folks is really something that needs a lot of protection, a lot of care, and a lot of awareness. So I hope that this show can continue to keep that conversation going too.
Yeah, absolutely. And injustice to one is injustice to all.
Right. No one is free when others are oppressed.
Yeah. I always, feel like the fight for racial justice is inextricably linked to trans rights, and that,
Absolutely.
it's just so imperative that we kind of align ourselves with anti-racist thinking. And now we're gonna read questions from
Yay.
the audience.
I'll just hold this.
I'm a little bit nervous, I have to
Great.
say.
When did
who
you know
knows?
you were trans?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Let's do some one-on-one.
Doing no trans 101.
Yeah. No, thank God we're beyond that.
I know.
I think, finally.
I hope so.
From Instagram, somebody asks, did the cast have to get musical training for these songs?
I didn't really sing. So I was in an ensemble piece, but I would have been up for the challenge. So next time, Faith, next time.
Okay,
Trace is
good
a
to know.
fabulous singer, by
Yeah.
the way.
Thank you,
Just
Zane.
just calling that out there. Trace is like a pop star waiting to happen. I'm just waiting for your album to drop, Trace. I know that's your just secret little trick you're pulling.
We were talking about it the other day. Ready for it. Here for it. Absolutely. Some of the cast members were training. I have a vocal coach, Judith, and I have the same vocal coach, Matt Farnsworth, in New York. That was pretty cool. We didn't know that we see the same person. And I think that Amy J and Gabby all worked with, because we had the music for a long time. We had like months before the movie was made where it was like, you better learn this because it's gonna be shot like quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do either of you have a favorite song in the film? This is from Facebook. Favorite song?
I mean, I love the song Your Shoes, the song that I sing to Shelley at the end of the film. It's really, really special. It's a very delicate and tender song that Faith wrote about a real conversation between their parent and their parents, which is a really deep confession from the point of view of Maura that my character kind of takes on as a way to ease Shelley's pain and let her know she's always been loved. And I just feel like it has a lot of heart, and I love it. It's a beautiful tune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably Joy Cost. It was the one that I got to do over and over in the woods. And I think it's really catchy and
Outrageous.
outrageous.
It's like,
Outrageous. Yeah.
And then Crazy People, which I'm not going to talk about what happens in that song, but it's an amazing song that just satisfies everything you need.
yeah, between two characters.
that
who
yeah. Mhm.
have had a troubled and rocky relationship
Yeah.
over the seasons. From Instagram, a musical seems like a strange way to tell this story. Why did you choose this format that is so different from the rest of the series?
Why did you choose this?
Why did you
Zachary?
make?
Why did we do
Why did
that?
you
I
choose
made
this?
this choice because I decided that we had to go out with a bang.
I mean, I've heard the Soloways talk about how the show has always been a musical in some ways. I think that's true. There's been elements of musical storytelling throughout the 4 seasons. I also think that like musical storytelling allows you to engage emotionally in a thing that might be too overwhelming to attack with straight drama or text. So the form actually lent itself to the place where the creators found themselves to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that finding levity and comedy and death is it's a big challenge, right? It's like, how do
Yeah.
you go into the darkest thing and create light?
But it's so Jewish. I mean, that is so like Jewish theater, like the Yiddish theater from like when people were coming over through Ellis Island and creating, vaudevillian sketch comedy about the struggles of the immigrant Jewry, and that has not left. That's in the Soloways brand for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was a great way to just like offset I mean, because it's like, it could be heavy-handed, right? It's a show. It's, about a death of this, character who's been central. And like, how do you do that without just being a drag, making it
Yeah,
a
a
musical?
downer.
It's like every time you're about to go into something really intense, you're just pulled right out.
Yeah.
Shout out to at the real Katie joining us on Instagram.
Hey.
Is the
Hey,
cast
real Katie.
actually
Katie.
like a family?
Totally. I mean, I say coming in as a newbie, I
The
felt
new girl
like
says
have
yes.
you ever like dated someone and you have the moment when you go to meet their family and you're like, because it's just like all the chaos and all the feelings and all the attachments and all the connections and all the history, and all the love. I mean, yes, from an outsider's point of view, an outsider who became an insider, it is a family with all the dynamics that family implies. But at the center of it is that heart, love, for sure.
I mean, I think you can't help but spend this many years with people and feel linked to them in a familial way. Is that a word?
Yes.
Familial.
That's correct.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, we've been through a lot together and a lot of good times. So
And a lot of growth.
Yeah.
I mean, being able to kind of like share a community with your sisters and evolve side by side. I also think about the kids, like people's kids on the show,
Sure.
like different,
yeah,
and they would bring their kids to set at different points over the season.
Right.
And, watching those kids grow up, or even, Zachy and Ella,
yeah.
little Zachary,
so grown.
little Zachary Arthur, who spells his name the same way I spell my name, Zackary. They were like, I
Yeah.
don't know, 6 when they started,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're like I don't know.
Young adult people.
They're a lot taller than they used to be.
At least they're tall.
And it's true, like the nature of spending that much time with people, I think, no matter what, you're in this situation where you're, sharing all your meals together.
Yeah,
you're-
and like intimate storytelling. Like
Yeah.
you're getting vulnerable.
Yeah.
That's
So,
real.
Very real.
So Danny564 says, thank you for showing our community so much love and being great role models. So I feel like we should take that.
Sure.
Thanks, Danny.
Thanks.
And Christina says she's looking forward to watching. How do we watch? You can watch on Amazon Prime. You're just going to have to go over to that window or
Yeah.
turn
Open
on
a
your
new
Roku,
tab. Yeah.
and we have 10 seconds left. Continue to ask us questions and use the hashtag Transparent TV to talk to us. We're going to go to the preview, then we're going to the movie.
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Right?
Or are we? Or do we have 2 more minutes?